This is Josh Wright after Ebbsfleet 2, Eastbourne 2. What are your feelings after that, Josh?
Gutted, Chaz. I'm gutted. Absolute sickener. Look, to concede at that time in a game is a sickener in general. If they cut us open, and it was a fantastic goal from their part, it still hurts. But the manner of the goal, listen, I could use many words, and it goes for both goals. That's the problem. It goes for both goals. Both are horrific goals to concede from our part. Again, not by any undoing, nothing you can work on, nothing that you can organise and sort, just mistakes. That's what hurts me. But we haven't had many of that. We haven't had many of that in any game so far where it's been mistakes that have cost us or goals. The 3 points felt wrapped up. I felt in control. Once we got the second goal, I thought we were managing the game fantastically with how we were going about it. It was an ugly game today. It was an ugly game. The conditions didn't help. We know the wind's the worst conditions you can get in football. But we got ourselves ahead and we got ourselves into a comfortable position, and we did feel very comfortable, and you can't legislate for mistakes like that at the end. We can talk about the throwing down here, which wasn't their throw. Their manager said that to me, but listen, little ifs and buts. Just really, really disappointing goals, and I'm hurting. I'm hurting because it would have been an ugly 3 points, but sometimes winning ugly's a fantastic way. And can we be better in possession and bits and bobs? Of course we can, but they came, they pressed up very, very high. They condensed it, and it was difficult with the wind and the swirling wind. They see that for themselves first half, but then also against them second half, exactly how we did as well. And I thought we were worthy of our lead at 2-1, and we had territory in moments where we could have killed the game and gone 3-1. And we asked questions. But we have to see the game out. From that time, ball down in front of us here, we should be sitting here now with 3 points.
Both goals conceded were results of personal errors, weren't they?
Yeah.
It wasn't as though Eastbourne were really earning the right to score the goals. They were being given the goals.
No, we were comfortable, Chaz, barring a few breakaways first half and one second half, I think, when they made a couple of changes. We were so comfortable. And it's difficult for them because they were going against the wind and the ball keeps coming back, and we had a lot of territory and a lot of moments. But we were killing the game well, and as I say, they weren't even... I didn't... Listen, you're always a little bit tentative on the sideline, especially as a manager, but as obviously fans and staff and players thinking, see it out and 6 added on, it feels quite long. But I didn't feel threatened at all. I didn't even feel like they were going to get a moment. The only thing I thought they might get a foul and a free kick or a corner or something like that, a set play. But I thought we were so in control, and then obviously what happens at the end. The first goal is a miscommunication, sort of a bit to me, to you, who's going to take it, but I need someone to take initiative then. And the second goal is, I don't blame Hesse for his decision. I don't think it's a bad decision, but then I think he could maybe stay on it and punch it back potentially a little bit harder, and then Cuzzo stutters a little bit, and then maybe because of the stutter ends up kicking it against the boy, but does he then to kick it out for a throw-in? There's all these ifs and these buts. It's just disappointing that we conceded a goal like that. They're individual errors that no matter what you do day in, day out, what you work on, you can't stop those mistakes, those individual mistakes. But they've been minimal so far this season in terms of individual mistakes, and it was unlike us to give away goals like that. But these things happen. Sometimes it can be conditions, it can be wind, it can be style of play, it can be the game. But if we cut out those mistakes, or at least one of those mistakes, we're sitting here now with 3 points, and that's a frustrating thing.
You went behind to a goal in early in the second half, but within 2 minutes you were back on level terms, so it was a quick response. And then you got your noses in front with Finlay Barnes coming on 2 minutes after coming off the bench. Puts one in the back of the net, took a deflection I suppose, but it put you in front. And all the work you'd done to sort of dig yourself into that position, it just sort of slipped through your fingers, didn't it?
Yeah, well look, as you say, the goal, was it against the run of play? In many ways it was a nothing goal, wasn't it? We've got a corner, I think we've had a shot, and before we know it, 10 seconds later the ball's in the back of our net from a mistake, which we keep saying. The reaction was fantastic because that shows character and that shows personality within a group and a team, and the reaction was fantastic, and it's a great reaction, as I say, to go 1-1. But then we didn't just rest there, we went again, we made a change, and so it's a brave change, but we probably put in a slightly more forward thinking, attacking type of midfielder, and we thought we could sense something here, and he's come on, and yes, with a deflection we've gone 2-1, but even at 2-1 didn't feel threatened at all. Quite often when a team goes 1-up or 2-1 up or whatever it is, that nicks that 1 goal extra, you see teams retreat a little bit, or you just naturally, players take the back foot. But I didn't allow that. I didn't want to allow that, and we didn't. And we stayed on the front foot as much as we were having territory, and we were keeping it in corners, and we were killing the game. The game was absolutely set. It was done by then. It felt so in control. I think they felt it as a team as well as a club. And we still had moments, we still had opportunities where it could have gone 3-1. If you watch that back, areas that we got into and little ifs and buts, but we were so in control. You can't legislate for that mistake. Both mistakes were both goals, but especially the one at the end at that time. And it hurts. It hurts so bad, like sick I am in my stomach. I can't explain my feeling I've got right now. But these things happen. These things happen. People say about swings and roundabouts, and it happens to you one week, it can happen for you the next week. We have to lift ourselves up. We have to dust ourselves down, because that would have been a very, very good 3 points in a different way, and ugly 3 points in tough conditions against a side who are really battling hard, and probably, I think, in the long run in a false position, especially with the size of the club and the budget and the manager they've got. They've got good resources, and I don't think they'll be down there for too long. And they've got some very, very attacking-minded, physical front players and some good players to come off the bench, and they're a tougher outfit than where they probably are in the league right now. And the league probably looks false right now. I think someone's telling me there's people dropping points and teams drawing with each other big sides losing, and it's going to happen. It's a tight division this year, but that would have been a nice 3 points to have put us back in the mix, got us in the mix, and kept the winning run, if you like, in terms of backing up the FA Cup last week. And the positive is we're still unbeaten at home. We're tough to beat at home. We're a decent side at home, and to have a good home form is a nice platform to build off to be successful. And of course you have to balance it with your away form as well, but I keep going back to it. We should be sitting here now with 3 points rather than a point. But a point's a point. We have to build on it. We have to regroup. We have to go again on Monday. We've got a good game on Tuesday night in the Cup, and then we've got another good game here in the Cup again next Saturday in the FA Cup, and we have to try and make it a really good week.
I take all the positives that you're taking out of the game, but the facts are that's now the 7th game without a league win. When does that become concerning?
Well, listen, it already is, because you want to be winning football games, and we should be winning more football games in the league than what we are. But it's fine margins. It's little percentages, little moments that are costing us, and I've said that to them. And of course, that's too many. Now, listen, it'd be a little bit different if they were defeats, or all defeats, but they're not. Obviously, there's quite a few draws in there, coupled in the middle with some FA Cup wins. So there's wins also in terms of the run of games, because cup competitions are competitions that we want to do well in, and we want to win football games in. So listen, it's frustrating, but that should have been a win today. Regardless, no matter how we did it, how it was going to be, that should have been a victory today, and we should be sitting, but we're not, because of mistakes. So that's something we have to address. I have to address, us as staff and us as a football club. We have to debrief it. We have to look back at it, find out why and how, and then we regroup and we make sure we start putting some wins together.
And you talk about finding out why and how these results are happening, or these performances are happening. Then the next step, I guess, is what you do about it in terms of making sure it doesn't happen again.
Of course. Listen, we've had a fantastic week on the training ground this week. Like, I'd say the work we did Wednesday is the best work since the Dagenham week. Like, in terms of the 11v11 stuff, I don't want to go into too much detail, but everything came off. Everything was looking like what we were talking about them and what we wanted to be. And that's exactly what we do. We do it day in, day out, week in, week out, in terms of when we're away from the place, but when we're in. And we're in because we're full-time, and we're in a lot. And we do a lot of work in the classroom. We do a lot of work in the offices. The players go through a lot, all of us together, and then we take it out onto the training ground, and we work towards what's going to make us win games and what's going to make us successful. And that's exactly what we'll do and what we'll continue to do. And that's part and parcel of it, and that's a big part of it, and that's the part that I enjoy. That you look at, of course, when it's going well, that you can keep rolling, that's fantastic. But when it's not quite going as well as you'd like, that's when you need to dig in and you need to find the answers and work on the stuff and then get the rewards from that. So that's exactly what we'll be doing. We'll be doing that as of tonight, tomorrow, coming back in on Monday and regrouping to go again on Tuesday night.
Well, good luck on Saturday in the FA Cup, and back in league action in 2 weeks. And congratulations on the point, at least.
Cheers, Jazz. Thank you.